In the wrestling world, the people are represented by two separate but unequally important groups. The wrestlers and bookers, who literally do all the hard work, and the fans, who endlessly nitpick and overanalyze everything they do. These are their stories.
It's Warhorse, and you need to shut your mouth, open your eyes, and clean out your ears, because it's time to listen to the Raw and Order podcast. That's right, they're bringing you the best in all that meaty podcasty goodness in one, what is it, an hour? Two? Who cares? Who gives a shit? You need to listen to it right now, or else Warhorse is gonna, roll your ass!
Welcome to another episode of Raw and Order, the wrestling booking unit / a visit from the FBI, because we're combining them this week. It's part of a super show. It's WrestleMania week, and we can do shit like that. Demonetized right away. I am your host, Detective Mark Smarks, and I am joined, as always, by my partners in crime fighting. Starting off, District Attorney Vincent Cafe. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I was running like super late on Sunday, and so we didn't get to do the show because it was like
life happens.
It was 11:20 before I got back to the house, and frankly, I hadn't seen the messages from you guys saying, let's just do it later. So I came up to my room and I got it all set up, and I was about to send the message to you guys saying, "Okay, I'm here," and then I saw your messages like, "Oh, okay, well."
That's because we cared about you, man. And we wanted to go to sleep while we were sitting there waiting for you. Speaking of we, also joining us from up north, RCMP JLB. What's going on, man?
Hey. It goes good. I appreciated that comedic slash. That was hilarious. That really got me going. Along with Warhorse's always amped up, ready to go. WrestleMania week, baby. Let's do this. I'm good.
So yeah. This is going to be an interesting show because we're probably not going to do a whole lot of the fantasy booking games because we got a lot of WrestleMania to talk about. A lot of sort of predictions.
It's good. I was planning on having you play a game where you booked Solo Sikoa's first loss.
But unfortunately...
that happened last night.
Yep, he has got his loss. Well, I knew as soon as they announced it, I was like, well, someone's going to have a loss at the end of this. And
I thought they were going to make it a DQ at least or something where it's like, oh, but he never got pinned. So, like whatever, or double DQ. It's such a shame that Solo had to get his loss.
And that should have come at the hands of Roman. That's just my opinion. That should have come at the hands of Roman.
Or a turning like Jey Uso or something like that. Should have been
one of the
that
bloodline
story.
members at least. Yeah.
Right. But
so I'm not overly distracting. I am going to take my camera off because I'm shaking like a madman.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Hashtag still not sponsored, or I'd tell people what was going on.
But anywho's. But yeah, so we're going to talk a lot about WrestleMania, a lot about all of the stuff coming up because WrestleMania weekend is knuckin' futs is what it is.
40 hours of wrestling this week. You can make 2 full-time jobs out of this.
That's just talking like bigger thing.
Yeah, that didn't count the little stuff. That's ROH, AEW, and WWE /NXT.
Because there's so much wrestling coming up this week, and here's cage match. Because not only do we have the regular shows for this week, Raw last night, NXT was tonight. I got to watch some of it, and AEW Dynamite tomorrow night, AEW Rampage,
right
technically on Friday, SmackDown on Friday. You also
They're going up against the Hall of Fame. Wonder what people are going to watch.
Yeah. You also have the Ring of Honor Club on Thursday. You've got a DDT Goes Hollywood. You've got SBW California Love, Relentless Wrestling, GCW Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 9, GCW For the Culture, Impact Wrestling New Japan Multiverse United Only the Strong Survive, WrestleCon Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show, the EWF LAW Jake the Snake's Flirting with Venom, WPW Russell Crowe Wrestling WrestleMania 3, CCW Wrestling Genesis, New Texas Pro Contender Series, to Circle 6 Wrestling. There's a bunch of the Circle 6 shows. Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor, GCW Jimmy Lloyd's Degeneration F, GCW versus DDT, GCW Joey Janela's Spring Break 7, GCW Emo Fight, Tokyo Joshi Pro Live in Los Angeles, ICW No Holds Barred Volume 44, Prestige Nervous Breakdown, MPW Mania, SWA Fool Me Twice. I'm not even actually to like any of the major shows, like Saturday. This is still Friday, right? More Circle 6 shows. Then now we're on Saturday. WWE WrestleMania 39. Don't forget NXT Stand and Deliver earlier in the day, as well as Friday night is the Hall of Fame ceremony. ACW Wrestle Universe Brawl, GCW's Effie's Big Gay Brunch 6, GCW Gringo Locos on the World on Lucha, ICW No Holds Barred Volume 45, KBB More Weird Book Release Party, Suplex Schmeidvol's Raho, man, I don't even know how to pronounce all that stuff, Slam Pro Wrestling, NJPW Road to Sakura Genesis 2023, NEW Suffer No Fools, RWC, and then WrestleMania Night 2, GWF Blockbuster, Rev Pro, RPW Street Trash, New Japan Road to Sakura Part 2, CZW Limelight, 2-Second Mitzvah Mania, H2O Monday Night Death Wish, which they apparently recorded on Sunday. Just bam.
Well, there's usually a
all
lot
this
of
stuff.
indie shows during WrestleMania weekend.
There are, but so this is the weekend that I don't know if Necro's in the audience right now. I don't think he can keep up with all the wrestling that's going to be going on this weekend.
It would certainly be interesting if he can, and if he can, he deserves a medal because that's a lot of fucking wrestling.
He'll just skip the bad stuff like WrestleMania.
Yeah, and AEW and Ring of Honor.
That's fair. Then he has 40 hours. Yeah.
Freeze
Yeah,
up
man, it's
40
exclude
hours of
20
wrestling.
hours to get rid of those. 25, 30 hours, I think, is what I counted up.
Damn. That's
But so much stuff
a lot.
this weekend. And here's the deal, right? More wrestling is good for everybody. More wrestling is good for the wrestlers. I mean, just all those shows that I talked about there. Think how many wrestlers are earning paychecks this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Outside of the majors, WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, even Impact, all of those GCW, because there were what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How would you like to be an AEW or WWE scout right now?
7,
Being
8.
sent out to watch all those indie shows.
Right.
You don't get to watch the programming of the guys that you picked up, but
Eight different GCW related events going on
That's
this
crazy.
weekend. 4
I imagine a
different
few of
New
them are in
Japan
LA.
shows. The vast majority of them are probably in LA. Let me look here. The GCW, LA. I wonder if they're going to get some tacos. You ever have tacos? You've never had a taco, let's just have a taco in LA. I made a Letterkenny LA reference on Matt Coon's Twitter because he posted that he was flying out to LA and something happened and charged him an extra $600 or whatever, and he's like, "There went my taco money," and I just tweeted a gift from that, and I said, "You never had a taco until you've had a taco in L.A." And someone commented, and they were like, "The tacos in Dallas are pretty stellar too." And I was like, dude, I gotta be honest with you. I've never had a taco in L.A. It's a Letterkenny reference, but I'm sure the tacos in Dallas are great.
They're good too.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you on it. I'm just saying that here was the joke going over your head. So
Because
Not everyone watches Letterkenny. Yeah, exactly. Which, shame on you. But
yeah. I mean, their failure, not ours.
yeah, I can't take the blame for that. But yeah, let's actually just count of all those that I talked about here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. 39 of them over the weekend in LA or the near area. And, you know, I include like Inglewood and Anaheim and Burbank as all in the area of LA. 39 different shows. I know there's a lot of people in LA, but I do have a hard time believing that all of those shows will be sold out.
no, I wouldn't say all of them are going to be sold out, but you're definitely going to have enough people there, though. Like, there's a shit ton of people in LA on top and coming from everywhere else, too, right?
Yeah, as I say,
They're
if
not
you
going
needed
to
any more
India.
proof, if you needed any more proof that WWE does set the temperature for wrestling, they
Yeah.
are the thermostat. Now, they are not always the hottest, but they are the thermostat.
So let's see here. Let's look at GCW Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 9. Most of these are going to be people that I don't know. But there's going to be some names that we know on this. Jeff Cobb versus Calder McCall.
Hey,
Kota
that's a name.
Ibushi versus Mike Bailey. That should be a fun match.
That's a huge one.
Oh, nice.
Bad Dude Tito versus Yuya Imura. Johnny Bloodsport versus Royce Isaac. Eric Hammer versus Calvin Tankman. Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus Junior Kratos. Killer Kelly versus Marina Shafir. John Moxley versus Alex Coughlin. Josh Barnett versus Timothy Thatcher.
God, that's a solid card for any company.
That's a nice card. Yeah.
Joey Janela's Spring Break 7 only currently has 3 full matches announced. And a 4th one partially announced. But I'm sure there will be more announced in the next couple days. GCW Tag Team title, Motor City Machine Guns versus the East West Express, which is Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne. Singles match, Mike Bailey versus El Hijo del Vikingo, which should be a lot of fun. Kota Ibushi versus Joey Janela. I'm here for. Joey Janela announced it on Twitter, and Kota Ibushi replied with, "Who are you again?" Totally big leagued him, and I thought that was fun. And then the one that's only been partially announced, the Maki Death Kill MDK, which is Maki Ito and Nick Gage, versus Question Mark. So. And then Effie's Big Gay Brunch 6. Thrussie, which is Alley Catch, Dark Sheik, and Effie, versus Mason's Mercenaries, Billy Dixon, Charles Mason, and Pharaoh. Max the Impaler versus Vipress. Kaida Murray versus AC Mack versus Jai Vidal versus Honest John. Fred Rosser versus Karam. Steph DeLander versus Sandra Moore. Kid Bandit versus Sawyer Wreck. Carlos versus Devin Monroe, and a 10-man tag team match. Aaron Rourke, Ashton Starr, B3CA, Becca, I'm assuming is how they pronounce it, Dylan McQueen, and Rico Gonzalez versus Money, Power, Respect. Abigail Warren, Anton Voorhees, and Dust Shade. I don't know most of the people at the Effie's Big Gay Brunch. But I'm sure Necro will watch that and be like, "Oh, this is the best." I keep throwing shade at Necro, hoping he'll respond in the chat. Anyways, but of course, we mostly cover the more mainstream wrestling, and of that, the big ones are Supercard of Honor, NXT Stand and Deliver, and of course, WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. So let's start out. And the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame, which the ceremony will take place on Friday. I don't know if it's going to be pre-taped or not. Who knows? Currently, there are only 4 inductions into the Hall of Fame. I would expect we see at least 1 or 2 more announced this week. But
Crap.
let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hydrate-ish.
So, like, where should my bottle end at? Whatever. Hey, bud. Proud of you. JLB must have, like,
I think he
sawed off, bitch.
I think he had to drain the lizard.
Well, then he'll definitely need to hydrate-ish when he comes back.
All 7 of them.
Anyway, so big weekend, but we're talking. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Seven
He's back.
hydrates.
In his front.
7
Seven
hydrates. Jesus Christ.
Somebody's a flute. A douche flute. Mm-hmm. No, they care about our health. We're sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
So starting with the Hall of Fame, currently only 4 inductees. Hopefully 1 or 2 more get announced. We already knew Rey Mysterio. We already knew the Great Muta. The big news this week was Stacy Keibler and Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman in the celebrity wing deserves to be in there. The only downside is Jerry fucking Lawler is gonna come out and speak about it.
Well, I mean, and it is the first time we've seen him since he's had his, I don't know if it was a stroke, but he had something, and he was in the hospital for a while, so it'll be kind of cool at least to see him back in that regard, but then after 5 minutes, I'll be dead.
Will it? I'm not sure it will be cool to see him back.
No, that's fair.
I am.
Is that on in place of SmackDown or?
Nope, SmackDown still goes on as well.
SmackDown
So I don't know if it's
after SmackDown on. Well, it's after SmackDown, but on Peacock, so it won't be on the USA now or Fox rather. Yep.
So mostly they're hoping people turn on Peacock instead of going over and watching AEW Rampage, which
probably means that Rampage is going to have a really good couple of matches.
And doesn't Rampage also this year, this week, also have the whole All Access thing?
That's Dynamite. That's tomorrow night.
Oh, Dynamite. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So much wrestling. Oh my god.
Mick Foley gave glowing reviews to the All Access. He got a preview showing of it, and he said it's a great show and future looks bright for it. So,
how bright does it look? Does it need to wear shades?
It is not nuclear bright, so I don't think shades are required. To explain the joke for the young people out there, there was a song that came out in the early 80s by a band called Timbuk 3. called "My Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades." And to most people, you hear it, and it's just this happy song about how he went to college and his future's bright. He's going to make lots of money and all this stuff. But if you really listen to the lyrics, you find out it's about fucking nuclear war.
Yeah.
That his future's bright because he studied to be a nuclear scientist to develop bigger bombs. And the reason he's got to wear shades is because nuclear blasts are really, really fucking bright.
Oh my god!
And dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's.
And is it like a really fun song? Is it like
Yeah.
a really happy-go-lucky fun song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very much so in the same tune that 99 Red Balloons is.
Yeah.
No, really? I really got to
Yeah,
check that out.
I
then.
studied
terms of-
nuclear science. I love my classes. I got a crazy teacher. He wears dark glasses. Things are going great, and they're only getting better. I'm doing all right. I'm getting good grades. My future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. It's, yeah. But when you find out, it's fucking dark is what it is. Jeez. Anyways, so after the Hall of Fame, the next one we'll cover. They're kind of going head to head, so we'll do NXT first, and then we'll do Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. NXT Stand and Deliver. The only reason we're doing that is because we had NXT tonight, and I got to watch some of it, so I sort of know what's going on with some of these things.
Good.
A lot of them are "Who the fuck is this?" To me, but some of them are
One in
less
particular
than
is
that.
not, and that's Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes.
And another one which will not be the main event. Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes will be the main event, I'm sure, because it's for the NXT Championship. But Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller in an unsanctioned match. Anything goes.
Unsanctioned match. All right.
Yep.
Nice.
Signed the contract tonight for it. So I think we'd be stupid to think anyone other than Grayson Waller is going to win. I
think that's to put Grayson Waller over.
Yeah, that's the deal. This is to make him look like a superstar. So,
And I think they have to do that with their physique guy because I'm fairly certain that Carmelo's winning the title and Braun will
show up on Monday night,
somewhere. Well, maybe even during Mania.
possibly.
Nice little interference.
As long as he doesn't show up in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal that's no longer part of Mania. It's now moved to SmackDown again. What a great way to honor Andre the Giant than booting him off WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't think we're seeing Bray. We're definitely not seeing Bray. If we're seeing Bray at Mania for some reason, and Lashley doesn't get his Mania moment, that's a complete
does that have to do with
slap
it?
in the
We
face.
You are
said
such a
nothing about
tweaker.
Bray. We're talking Braun Breaker. Braun.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
My God, you are just
My
like
bad.
today. First, you're talking about Matt Cardona's tattoo and how it's going to affect him at WrestleMania. And then this.
Then
Well, maybe you finish the wrestler's name, damn it. Calling him
I
Bray.
said Braun Breaker. No, we said Braun. All references were
Oh,
Braun.
okay.
They were Braun. Braun.
Then it was my bad.
Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. Roxanne Perez versus Zoe Stark versus Gigi Dolan versus Tiffany Stratton versus Lyra Valkyria versus Indy Hartwell in the ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship because they had to take it off Roxanne Perez because of some sort of medical issue.
And then they put it back on.
Noah.
And then,
But
then
yeah, they
she's
still.
in a match to get her title.
But then they put her in the match because the medical issue wasn't
good.
that bad.
So do you think it goes back to her?
God, I just don't know. Like, it seems obvious that the plan was not to take it off her just yet, right? But it's off her, and putting it back on her seems a little too, like...
Yeah, but they don't really have the
Like-
heel in there. Like Cora Jade's not in that match, which is
Nope.
mind-boggling.
Yep. Like, as of right now, Cora Jade's not on the show at all.
That girl is set for. She's ready. I don't understand it.
So now Cora Jade could come out and interfere and interfering in a ladder match. She doesn't even have to worry about hiding it. She can do it right in front of the ref, right?
She can
And
climb the ladder and
cost-
take the title while everybody else is down and be like, I am.
Yeah. But she could cost Roxanne Perez the title, and you could end up with someone else as the champion. Gigi Dolan is up there. I wouldn't be shocked if she got it. A lot of people love Zoe Stark. She's not for me, but, you know. Those are the only two other ones that I could think of possibly.
Maybe Indy, but I just don't think Indy's a main eventer.
I just don't think she's ready for main event. Mostly because she was in a program, everything was going great, and then they took almost all the people from that program away.
Yeah.
And didn't give her anything to do for a long time. So, then you have Fallon Henley and Kiana James versus Alba File and Isla Dawn for the women's tag championships. They teased dissension between Fallon and Kiana, which makes me think they're still going to win because why tease this potential breakup? You know what I mean? If not to make it look like they might lose.
Yeah, you need to tease the potential reunion before they actually break up.
Yeah. Well, they came out together tonight on and then at the end of it, there was a whole thing with Brooks
reunion.
Jensen.
It's a potential unity. Sorry.
Yeah. But then you have Wesley versus Dragon Lee versus JD Madonna versus Ilya Dragunov versus Axiom in a fatal 5-way for the North American Championship.
That'll be the Ilya Dragunov, JD McDonough show that somebody else wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This will be, as far as I know, this is Dragon Lee's first major match in WWE in NXT. So that'll be fun to see.
I feel like Wesley just retains here.
That's the most likely option, I think. You also then have Gallus defending versus the Creed brothers and the D'Angelo family in a triple threat for the tag championships.
Probably, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Creed brothers are a good move there.
the Creed brothers, they're good wrestlers. They look like the generic create a pro wrestler on WWE 2K23 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't have the look. That's my thing. Anyways. And then Chase University versus Schism. Tyler Bate also joins Chase University. So, in an 8-person mixed tag match, winner gains control of Chase University.
Love Chase U.
Yeah.
Also, big fan of Schism.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with that storyline without keeping Chase University under Andre Chase, right?
Correct.
Right. It'd be weird. Chase is not the leader of Chase U. That's just fucking weird.
I mean, it is sort of named after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Schism U.
Moving on, Supercard of Honor, which will be on pay-per-view because fucking
And Honor Club, technically.
no, because the way they do it with Honor with the pay-per-views, they show up on Honor Club like
2 weeks later or 3 months
2 or 3
later or
weeks
something.
later, something like that. So you'll have to do the pay-per-view if you want it, but going through the matches, the Reach for the Sky ladder match for the World Tag Team Championships, vacated by Mark Briscoe. You have the Lucha Brothers versus Top Flight versus the Kingdom versus Aussie Open versus La Facción Ingobernable, which is Russian Dracolisto. That one's kind of a tough one to think of where they're going to go with it. Like, I could totally see them putting it on the Lucha Brothers. Whatever way they go, I feel like just by default, you're going to see less of them on TV, right? On AEW TV. That they're going to be more just Ring of Honor exclusives. So now you're starting to think, if you're Tony Khan, which one of these teams are you okay with not having on your AEW program, but also have enough faith in to be your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions? Like, Lucha Brothers and Top Flight, both are really good. I could see him being like, hey, let's make them tag champions. But also, both of them are ones that I'm sure he wants to be on AEW TV.
I think temporarily you can do Lucha Brothers, though. Do a year down there, or a year in ROH, and then that frees them up for their very hectic indie schedule.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That could work. I mean, what have the Lucha Brothers done? Okay, obviously, aside from the whole thing with the Bucks or the Elite.
Well, and of course, the Death Triangle, Trios Championship.
Yeah.
Well, Ray Phoenix just had a singles program starting on Dynamite.
Yeah, with just beat Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know.
They've got
just
a feud
goes
going on with Powerhouse Hobbs, or with the whatever factory, Nightmare Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was a one-off, though. No.
QT Factory.
QTV, I think,
Factory.
is what they call them now, to take the factory out of it.
Well, that's the TMZ show, technically.
Yeah,
Right.
But I think they call the faction now QTV because
QTV.
the blonde girl comes out with him now. The blonde unsigned wrestler. Anyways, that's where I think.
I don't know. It might be the Kingdom.
Either the ones I think most likely are the Kingdom or Aussie Open. The Kingdom, because they've been Ring of Honor Tag Champions.
Certainly lends some credibility to them by having them beat the Lucha Brothers in Top Flight.
Yeah.
They've also been Tag Champions. They're Ring of Honor Legacy. We don't have any real worry about seeing them on TV. That's not knocking on them, but they just haven't been used on AEW TV typically. I think they were signed specifically for Ring of Honor, so I think that makes sense there. Aussie Open is another option, but I don't know if they're signed full-time to Ring of Honor, considering their Will Ospreay's group in New Japan, so that's why I think Kingdom's probably the way to go. Next match, Embassy, which is Brian Cage, Khan, and Toa Leona, versus AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik for the World's Six-Man Tag Championship. Normally, I'd say the Embassy is a shoo-in to win this, because the other team just is like three people thrown together, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They're all great, but they're all thrown together. The only thing that makes me go on this is all the reports that Brian Cage is working without a contract right now and has not signed a new contract for AEW or Ring of Honor and is potentially going to test the free agency market. And if you're Tony Khan, you don't want your World Six-Man Tag Champion to be on the free market. You know what I mean?
Right.
New Japan's been burned by that multiple times recently. So,
Yeah.
So are they going to put it on AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metallic?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Unless Cage randomly signs.
Yeah. Now, reportedly, AEW and or Ring of Honor, the report doesn't say specifically which side it is, but has gone to him with a pitch, a creative pitch for something to do with him, but he has not as of last we heard, accepted it and signed a contract in a show.
Well, I feel like right now AEW doesn't know what to do with monsters, barring maybe Hobbs and Wardlow. But even they, I mean, look at W. Morrissey.
Big Bill.
Came out as monster. Backup character.
Well, I mean, in reality, I don't think this is that they don't know what to do with him right now. I think it's that they don't fit the AEW product just in general.
Yeah.
Right? And it's, I said it back when Braun was a free agent. People were like, oh, they bring Braun into AEW as a big man. You bring Braun into AEW, it breaks the immersion because suddenly you've got this absolute monster who towers over all of them. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it would make Wardlow look tiny.
And that's kind of the thing is that, they're kind of stuck there with him. The other thing, and this is going to be a kind of knock to Brian Cage. Brian Cage has all the tools needed to be a superstar, right? But let's just cut to the chase and call a spade a spade. His character is bland. His character is just, I'm a big guy who does little guy moves,
stuff.
And if he had a more developed, like, solid character of some sort, like a Powerhouse Hobbs character, whose whole thing is, I'm in it for myself and I'll do whatever I have to win. But he just doesn't have that. And until he gets that, doesn't matter where he goes, he's going to struggle. Because he doesn't have a character to go by. So I don't know which way to go. Because, I mean, there's 5 days left till this match. A lot can change in 5 days. He could resign. They could come to him with a big pitch that he likes or something. I don't know. I don't know which way to go on this one. So, important to note, there are 7 cards on the Super Card of Honor match card, and every single one of them is for a championship of some sorts. Next, yep. One of them is actually a AAA championship, though.
Okay.
The next card on the match, Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe, singles match for the television championship.
Oh, that could be fun. Nice.
It'll be a really fun match.
That's going to be really hard hitting. Think Briscoe takes it?
Well, that's what I don't know. Do they keep the belt on Samoa Joe? Or
I don't think they have to at that point.
I don't think they have to, but he does lend some credibility to the belt with just his tenure. But Mark Briscoe also would bring a lot of credibility to the belt. And frankly, you got to start Mark Briscoe as a singles champion somewhere, right?
Right.
And nothing against Mark Briscoe, but I don't expect him to ever win the pure champion.
No, yeah. For sure. Definitely not the pure.
And I fully expect him to, at least for a long time, never go after the tag belts again. I think his tag days are behind him now, because his primary historic tag partner is gone. So I kind of feel like this is where you put it on Mark.
Yeah, it's either that or the world,
doesn't
right?
Hurt Joe.
So,
the loss
really doesn't hurt Joe.
Doesn't hurt Joe at all. And helped
allows
Mark.
you to establish Mark as a
singles.
singles.
So.
Guy can cut a promo.
He can wrestle. So it doesn't hurt the belt in any way to be on him. So
I mean, the character worked better with his brother, but that's okay. Mostly because his teeth are missing.
It just doesn't hurt Joe, though. Yeah, but it just doesn't hurt Joe. It gives him something to do as well. And it's between the world or the TV championship. The TV championship makes more sense right now. I see Claudio
Plus,
keeping it for a minute.
Frankly, it frees Samoa Joe up to go after the world title. You know what I mean? Say, I did some time.
That's gonna be Eddie.
Kingston?
Oh, you're thinking Eddie's beating?
No, I think Eddie and Claudio are gonna have a long feud.
Well, I mean, they have their match tonight at the Supercard of Honor.
I think it's gonna be longer than that. I think it'll switch back and forth.
I don't know.
To stay on Claudio, but
I somehow, to be perfectly honest, I think Eddie's just gonna do a cup of coffee in Ring of Honor and then come back to AEW. I think this is a short term for Eddie there, but anyways, but it frees Samoa Joe up for lots of things. So Athena as the champion defending against Yuka Sakazaki.
Is that official though? I saw a few sites say to be determined. It is Yuka Sakazaki?
According to the list I'm showing, it says Yuka Sakazaki.
Okay. I mean, I'm on some site called Wrestling Headlines, so I don't know that you.
Let's check.
That might not be a great website.
Cage Match says Yuka Sakazaki. Give me a second here.
2023. And yeah, no, everywhere else is saying it, so that's just an update. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean everything I found says Yuka Sakazaki, so that's what
that's
I'm
it.
gonna stay.
They just didn't update.
But I think that stays on Athena. I like Yuka Sakazaki, but they haven't done much to establish her on any of the brands. And they're going to keep it on Athena for a while, I think. And heel Athena is fun, so. The Pure Wrestling match, Wheeler Yuta defending against Katsuyori Shibata. Which should be fun, but I think Wheeler keeps it. I mean, I think this is their way of...
As a heel, though? Because now he's a heel team, right?
Yeah.
With the Blackpool Combat
Shibata's
Club.
an ultimate face sort of character. I think he here's the... I think he does kind of like Daniel Garcia did in their last match. And he makes Shibata use his rope breaks right off the bat. So that then later he can lock in a submission maneuver and Shibata can't break out of it and is forced to tap. But I think they're going to keep it on Wheeler Yuta for a little bit longer. The main event's going to probably be Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston, which I've already said my thoughts on it. Obviously, D.A. Fabe thinks it's going to become a longer feud. I just feel
you need to do something with Kingston though too. At the same time, man. Like,
they've just done a lot of hinting.
Getting anything done in AEW, so.
But they've been doing a lot of hinting on both AEW TV and on social media about how Eddie Kingston is an AEW original. He's an AEW guy. He bleeds AEW. He's never going to leave that company for the WWE or whatever. Things like that. So I just feel like he's going to come back to AEW after this and everything. So,
but he also did quit the company, so that's he was also an indie guy for the longest time, and ROH, although not indie, still kind of indie, if you will. It would make sense for him to go there. So
it could make sense either way. The fun
I
of
think
wrestling.
this is a Mox crossover. I mean, It's not like Weird Yuta and Claudio haven't been hanging out with Mox on AEW.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
And then the only other match is Vikingo versus Commander for the AAA Mega Championship. We saw Commander on AEW TV a few weeks ago, and then we saw Vikingo on AEW TV last week.
Yeah, no build and just wasn't given nearly long enough at 17 minutes.
Yeah, 17 minutes long, and I mean it was a horrible 5-star match.
Such a good match.
Yes, it was a great match.
You want to see it again?
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would watch again.
I seriously thought Vikingo killed himself on that inverted 450 to the table on the outside.
Yeah.
Because his
He
head
did that
looked like
so perfectly, though. Still,
his head looked like it clipped the ring apron, which of course is the hardest part of the ring. You know.
What?
that's what they say.
I don't know why you wouldn't make the outside squishy so that people just kind of sloops
Yeah,
off
I
the
mean
out.
you'd think that makes sense. Make it squishy and safe for kids.
That would be really interesting, like an interesting ring setup where the edges of the ring just kind of drooped under you. While throwing a guy into the ropes.
Your tag team partner is standing out there just kind of holding on for dear life because it's just drooping down. Tag me in.
I just want the safe area.
Anyways, that one could go either way. I think so much of it has to do with, is Vikingo, is he close to or ready for free agency, or is he under a longer contract? If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same thing with Commander is also worth noting. You know what I mean?
Commander is where now? He's signed.
Not signed with any place. I mean, other than
He's
probably
complete free
AAA.
agent? Okay. So same as Vikingo.
Potentially. I don't know if either of them are full free agents or just working on a handshake deal with AAA to allow them to wrestle. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it, because you even mentioned that he's doing another show on the indie scenes this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? So I don't know if Triple H usually allows that or not. I imagine they would. So I don't know if that necessarily means anything yet. But it is pretty telling for us to finally get Vikingo there. So maybe his contract is up and he is a free agent. Because AAA is pretty mad at Tony Khan, technically, no? After the whole Sammy Guevara snub and all that?
I don't know if it's gotten that bad.
Okay.
I mean, considering
Maybe not that extreme. Okay.
Conan called the AEW match between Vikingo and Kenny Omega, quote, pure art.
Dude's 25 years old.
Yeah, he's young.
Damn.
He's young and people are longing to do matches with him.
Mm-hmm. He's yeah, I mean, he's good. He's fucking good. What else can we say?
Amazing. Yeah.
You know? And, you know, but he's been champion for 479 days.
Kenny Omega was champion for 737 days. Or
765. Right?
whatever, which is 290 some odd days longer than Vikingo.
Yep. But importantly, Vikingo has been champion longer than Ray Phoenix was champion, longer than Ray Wagner was champion, longer than Johnny Mundo was champion, longer than El Texano Jr. was champion, longer than Alberto El Patron's most recent reign. Longer than. I'm trying to see if there's another big name that I recognize going back. Anyways. So, I mean, he's still up there on the records, right? It's not like in terms of total reigns, total days as champion, combined days as champion, he is fifth on the list all time right now. But he did that all importantly with one reign. He's second on the list in terms of third on the list in terms of single reign length, I believe. So, anyways. But yeah, so I'm just not sure which way to go on that one, because there's a whole lot that could be different, you know what I mean, on that one way or another, just all based on how they want to go with it. So, but it looks like a really fun overall card.
And that's on Friday, right? March 31st?
Saturday, I thought. Give me 1 second. Nope, I guess it is on Friday. You're right. So it doesn't go head to head with.
Well, it goes head to head with SmackDown, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But not head to head with NXT. I thought it was just going head to head with NXT. So, it does go head to head with Rampage, though, which is crazy booking from Tony Khan. But the only last mainstream one for us to talk about is
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 39 in
39, yeah.
Inglewood, California. Although they'll say it's in Hollywood, California, because that's way way cooler to talk about, right?
Yeah, because it's not the Staples Center that they're at. They're in the SoFi Stadium, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Which is, I guess, a bigger stadium, technically.
Yeah. Total seating. Where are you at? Capacity. 70,240, but it's expandable up to 100,240 if need be.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah, and Staples is just like 20,000.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's 2 nights, of course, Saturday and Sunday night. They've apparently announced the matches for one of the nights.
Did they?
Night 1.
I've been looking. I don't think they have yet. They haven't guaranteed. They only guaranteed Cena and Theory to be on the first night, which a lot of people were saying will be the first match as well. But I don't think they've necessarily mentioned it would be the first match, just that we know it's on the first.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. I'm just seeing on here on this list, it's got a bunch of matches listed for night 1, and then one match listed for night 2, and then a bunch that say night to be determined. That being said, if you've got 6 matches on night 1, you've got 6 to be determined. There's a good chance most of those are going to be night 2.
Right. No, exactly. Okay, so I didn't realize that came out then.
And I don't know,
That
maybe
must have been just earlier today or something, or someone just guessing.
But so Austin Theory versus John Cena. is definitely night one.
Yeah.
Probably going to kick off the show. I feel like that's a really good start off the show match. Get the crowd hyped.
I'm shocked. Yeah, I'm just shocked that they'll just use Cena right at the beginning, though. That's maybe after I feel like it could be after, I don't know, a slower match, if you will. But I guess it will keep everyone hyped. So I just hope Cena loses, because in theory, losing this makes zero sense.
Yeah. Well, that's the deal. Is this really has to be about setting Austin Theory up, right?
Right.
Makes no sense for John Cena to win. He doesn't get anything out of it as a part-timer. Unless their plan is for a rematch on Monday night and have Austin Theory get the win on Raw, which still, it doesn't make much sense. So,
but why would it be after Raw? The only rumor I heard for John Cena winning is to tie Ric Flair's U.S. Championship reign of 6. But I mean, if you're gonna go against any kind of reign that Ric Flair has, it would have to be the world title. So I don't see that actually being a thing. And this has to be just to set Theory up to be a megastar. His promo last night in front of an empty crowd was great. I think they chose to do that because they know maybe the fans would have booed or whatever have you while he was talking. And excellent move on making it just pure empty stadium. Let him talk. No one can interrupt.
It also was played in based on the joke John Cena said about how they had to pipe in crowd music to make, or crowd noise to make it seem like people liked Austin Theory. And so he did the promo in an empty arena so that they couldn't pipe in crowd noise.
She's getting to his head.
Said, listen, you don't have to worry about piped in crowd noise because there's no one here to do it. I want to talk to you straight face to face, sort of a thing. So, DA Fabe, what do you think? Austin Theory or John Cena for the first match of WrestleMania?
Theory.
Okay. We're all in agreement.
Needs to be Theory.
Yeah. It's got to be Theory,
Needs to be
right?
Theory.
It's just like there's no advantage for John Cena winning. In fact, John Cena actually said it himself. This is kind of bad because as John Cena said, if you beat John Cena, you lose because all you did was beat a part-timer who's now in Hollywood. If you lose to John Cena, well, then you lose because you lost to the part-timer who spends his time in Hollywood. So there's less upside to Austin Theory than there should be. But it's just got to be Austin Theory. Also rumored for night one. I'll consider the rest of these rumored for night one because I'm not sure on the validity of the list that I found. So rumored for night one: Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul, which may be Logan Paul's last match as a WWE superstar. Probably won't be.
Not likely.
And likely, I've also a rumor of Bad Bunny potentially getting involved in this match. Or I've obviously heard The Miz get involved since he is the host of WrestleMania after all, and he's still knee deep in this storyline of some extent. I don't know. I mean, definitely not his last time. I don't see Logan Paul losing. Seth could lose no problem, and no one cares. He's still over as hell. That whoa chant is going to be crazy on Saturday, and the match should be fire. Match of the night.
That's your hot take, huh? Is that Seth is gonna lose this?
Mm-hmm. See, I go the opposite way. I think they've made Logan Paul look too strong over the course of this. That this is where Seth Rollins gets his heat back.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Seth wins this.
Also, if this is Logan Paul's last match, which again, there's a good chance they're going to work out a contract for him. But if it is his last match, there's no advantage to giving him the win there at that point.
Yeah, but I always feel like they can at least do 1 or 2 appearances. Hey, we need you for this. We need you for SummerSlam. I don't think it's going to be his last match.
If he's leaving right now, he's not coming back. He didn't like it. If he's not leaving right now, then yes, you're right. They'll have that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, for me, the storyline they've been telling the last 3 weeks has been Logan Paul just needs to get in one good punch, and he wins. And importantly, Seth Rollins has dropped to that one good punch 3 times, right?
Well, one was a lariat, technically.
Which is why... no, these were the punches, not in actual matches, but he's out there doing something, and Logan Paul would come in and just punch him. Or they got in the pull-apart brawl, and Seth Rollins hit him with some big moves, and then people pulled him apart, and when he went to go do another move, punch to the jaw, punch. Right? Yeah. Single punch, and he's out. And that's the storyline that they're telling, is that all Logan Paul needs to do is do that one punch, which to me tells that the real storyline they're telling is Seth Rollins being the architect, being the Monday Night Messiah, being the whatever his latest catchphrase name is. His whole thing
visionary.
Visionary. His whole thing has always been being smarter than the opponent in the end. And being smarter than the opponent in this way means learning how to make them miss a punch. And so they're going to tell the story. Logan Paul's always looking for this one punch, and Seth doesn't let him get the chance. So I think it's Seth Rollins. I think even if Logan Paul stays around, it's Seth Rollins. Because Seth Rollins needs to get his heat back. Importantly, Seth Rollins' recent history has not been particularly great in terms of
winning streak,
winning matches, right? If I go to Seth Rollins and I look at his matches, sure, he beat Mustafa Ali, right? But he lost to Austin Theory at a Super Show. He lost to Austin Theory at a Super Show. He lost to Austin Theory at a Super Show. He beat Baron Corbin on Monday Night Raw, so that's another win there. But lost to Austin Theory in a steel cage at a Super Show. Lost to Austin Theory in another Super Show. Lost in a no disqualification match to Austin Theory in a Super Show. Lost.
Do you think the next Seth feud is Austin Theory, since those were all in Super
I
Shows?
think that's a good hint that might be the next way they're going. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
He did defeat The Miz, right? But Cody Rhodes defeated him multiple times before he left. I'm trying to look at just the televised ones. Man, he's been doing a lot of house shows. So I just think that this is the time that you get Seth Rollins' his heat back again. And then you let him go on a short-term tear for a bit. To establish himself again as a guy to beat. And then if Logan Paul is still there, you can have another match down the road where Logan Paul gets his win back, right? But I think for this one, it's time for Seth Rollins to get the heat back. Okay. Rumored match for night 1, the 6-woman tag team match. Trish, Lita, and Becky versus Damage Control.
I mean, that's the Legends. It's always going to be the Legends.
For sure, especially at Mania.
So,
Damage Control is such a shitty record.
They're chasing Pop, which sucks, but they're chasing Pop.
Yeah.
I have a hot take on this one. And again, it's partially based off of the way that they positioned them at Raw yesterday. Their whole
I did
promo,
miss the Miz TV. Yeah, so what happened there?
the whole promo there was Becky Lynch saying, Dakota and Io, you were top of the game down in NXT, and you come up here and now you're just Bailey's bitch, right? You're just Bailey's lackey,
Nice.
right? You've done
Blackstone.
nothing. You've done nothing, right? And Bailey's holding you back. Right? But then the other part of my hot take is based off of a rumor that I'd heard, right? Okay. So the rumor's two-part. One of them was a rumor from about 4 or 5 months ago that Trish Stratus was working on wanting to come back on a part-time schedule, but an actual schedule, not just a per appearance
One-off.
right? Not
Okay.
just a one-off here and there, right? And that also that they had been working on ideas for a Trish Stratus versus Becky feud. I think, based on these rumors, that Trish is going to turn on Becky and Lita, costing them the match. So Damage Control gets the win, leading up to the eventual Becky versus Trish Stratus short feud. Maybe lasting a couple pay-per-views. That's my thought. That's my...
And you have, of course, Trish doing that turn, so you don't have to affect the titles.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Can Trish go heel, though? I feel like
Trish
for
a large
big chunk of her career.
Yeah, a large chunk of her original run was heels Trish.
Yeah, I'm always thinking of Hall of Famer Trish, so I'm just trying to go back to... Okay, so a good chunk of her career was heel?
Yes.
Okay.
Lita was the baby face and Trish was usually the heel in that section of it.
Barring, Lita cheating on Matt Hardy.
Yeah, that was the section where Lita became the heel. The whole rated R superstar section, but most of the time Lita was the face, Trish Stratus, because Trish Stratus's character was always kind of the snobby, stuck up, better than you, because she was brought in as a fitness model. She was already one of the most downloaded women on the internet before she came in. And so that was kind of her thing. So yeah, she can do the heel no problem. I mean, she can do the heel basically.
I'm just always remembering her face stuff more. Like
she can do the heel with Becky basically just saying, listen, I don't even know how old she is. Click on overview.
Trish?
Trish, she is
I'm gonna say 43.
We'll find out.
I didn't even Google it yet.
47.
Oh shit. Okay.
But she can immediately say things like, I'm Trish Stratus. I'm 47 years old. I've had 2 kids, and I'm still in better shape and better looking than you, Bex.
That's the same age as Blanche was on.
That's you're fucking right. It is. Fucking put Trish Stratus in the Golden Girls, man.
When everything comes full circle.
She is the sassy one.
No, that's just crazy.
Fucking Golden Girls, man.
Makes me wish that Lita was 53. She's not.
She is not. No. She is 47 as well. she could also be Blanche.
That's ridiculous. Oh.
But
47
moving
is
on.
An old maid. Holy cow.
Next rumored match for night 1. Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
God.
Is Brock coming back?
Man, I don't care if this is Brock's last match. Brock has to win regardless. Suplex City this motherfucker. End this match so we get that wow moment. This is the stupidest match on the card and is going to be the worst match of the freaking 2 nights that we get.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that.
That's fair.
Is Brock coming back?
As of right now, we don't know. There have been reports that he's been at recent events saying his goodbyes, like he's wrapping things up.
Does Brock go out on his back to Omos?
That's the question.
I mean, he's so egotistical, but he would go out on his back to Omos.
Well, I mean, if we respect him
over Bray,
maybe he doesn't want to do the whole cinema bullshit either, right?
Here's what it comes down to. Brock will go out on his back if one person tells him to or asks him to.
Vincent.
If Vince McMahon asks him to, he'll do it because he loves Vince. He puts all of his faith in Vince. Which, going to a previous off-air conversation, chat conversation, this is the match that most feels like Vince McMahon has his hands on creative, at least in some way. So if Vince is behind this match, which is an if, right? And if he was the one to go to Brock Lesnar and say, hey, man, I need you to put over Omos. I need you to make Omos look like a star in this match, and I need you to go out on your back. Then I totally see that happening. Because the one thing I do know is if Vince McMahon is involved in behind this match, Vince McMahon loves developing the big guys, right?
Right.
And if Brock Lesnar is looking to wind down his time, Vince is looking to, I've got to develop the next big man. And he already feels like he failed with Braun. Braun never became the hit that he wanted him to.
Bigger than Omos.
And then I fired him.
Yeah,
and then he went off and he did that CYN for a while, and then he came back. But now I've got a new toy. And
now Vince is creating his own narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Omos never worked.
Anyway,
never worked.
So here's my prediction: Brock goes on a on-call basis. There is no contract for 5 matches a year or anything like that. He agrees that this will not be him leaving WWE. MVP gets involved. Omos wins because of MVP's involvement.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Potentially also Bobby gets involved.
Mm-hmm.
Because we still haven't heard anything about Bray being back in time for the Bray Bobby thing.
Also, importantly, they've been teasing
the Giant tournament too on SmackDown.
Well, they've been teasing a reuniting of the Hurt business.
Yes.
Right? So Bobby showing up to help Omos and MVP could make sense.
And then that pre-builds your SummerSlam match where Brock comes back 3 weeks before SummerSlam if he wants to. And if he doesn't want to, I mean, SummerSlam is Brock's show.
Yeah.
So if he comes back for that and he beats Bobby or Bobby beats him, and then he can take a year off.
Mm-hmm. Like I see it happening kind of similar.
I think he has two matches a year. I think he has SummerSlam and WrestleMania.
I think there's a handshake agreement, maybe something even in writing that says, we're not having you under any contract for any specific number of matches, but if we call you and you choose to do a match, here's how much money it'll make.
Yep.
So that
a Legends contract.
Yeah, effectively a Legends contract. But just saying, listen, you will earn for any match that we call you for and you come and do. You will earn.
You earn the same.
1.2 million or whatever they wanted. You know. Well,
That's fucked up. That's a crazy amount of number. That's a match.
It's a crazy amount of number, but that's roughly what he's been getting.
The piece to that puzzle is that works for Brock because if it's Saudi Arabia who buys the company, he wants that relationship with Vince still. Mm-hmm. But if it's somebody else that buys the company, he wants to be able to do this and not have a contract in place. Mm-hmm.
Right. That makes
100%
sense. Which I guess Vince would be protecting him too from that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to like the results of the sale, but I think the sale plays into this particular match.
I think that's what I think. The reports of Brock wrapping things up and saying goodbye to people have more to do with an impending sale than it has to do with
him wanting to leave.
Yeah, because he can choose where he wants to go out on his back, and I think he respects the game enough to do that, to go out on his back.
I think, I think so much of it comes down to who asks him. Trips comes up and asks him, "Man, I want you to lose this match."
Not to Omos.
No, he might say, "No, I'm not doing this to Omos," right? But Vince comes up and says, "Man, I need you to do me a favor. We're trying to set Omos up as the next monster." And so I want you to hit him with 3. Take him to Suplex City. Have three suplexes. I want you to hit him with a couple F5s, if you can.
And he's just gonna no sell it. He's gonna no sell it. Omos will just be like, "I'm back up."
Possibly,
because you got to make Omos look big, and I love the Hurt Business scenario that you guys pulled through there. If anything, that's going to make this match even more exciting to watch. But at the same time, if you're trying to build up Omos, you're also diminishing Omos's credibility of being that monster.
I think Brock would go out on his back to Bobby. So if they knew there was a contract, whenever the purchase happens, he'll have time to go out on his back. He'll have time to give respect to the industry, and I think he will. I think this is him saying, "I'm not signing a new contract, but I'll have a gentleman's agreement. I'll go out on my back to a guy that you set up." That said, I think that this is a schmoz finish, and I think that if Omos wins, it'll be because of a schmoz, and if he loses, it'll be in spite of a schmoz. Mm-hmm.
I could see, like I said,
in spite of a schmoz.
To me, most of this, the winner of this comes down to, in my opinion, is Vince McMahon involved with the booking or not? If he's not, then I could totally see Brock winning.
But Vince wouldn't let Taker leave WrestleMania without a loss. He's not letting Brock leave without a loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if Vince is in charge, Vince is setting Omos up to be a star. And the best way to make him a star is to have him get an upset win over Brock. And that means
4 spears from Bobby Lashley if you need to.
Yeah. And that means taking a couple F5s and getting up from it. Maybe not fully no-selling it, but if you have one of the F5s be a like the last F5 be a desperation F5. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where he hits it, but then Brock just lays on the ground like, oh. Then that gives Omos time to roll over, to get back up, hulk up a bunch, and then when Brock gets back up, Omos is ready and hits him with, I don't even fucking know what Omos's finisher is. Chokeslam, I guess. They give chokeslam to all the big guys.
I think it's a head chokeslam thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, right. It's the stupid claw thing. The claw.
But for Brock, that's kind of weird. Can he do that on Brock? I think he did it on Brock, technically, you know?
You can do anything on Brock if you're both playing along.
If Brock lets him, he does it, yes.
That's fair.
Moving on. Also rumored for night one, Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship.
This is a quintessential case of exactly what we've talked about before, strengthening the titles. Asuka has to win this.
I think Asuka has to win.
And Belair has to go heel.
I don't think Belair has to go heel. She's very likable.
I think
she's better as a face than a heel.
Yeah. I think Asuka can be the heel champion. I think that's the character they're kind of setting up. She's not the goofy, laughy Asuka that she used to be.
She's a
Oh no, and
manipulative
she's still
Asuka.
badass.
I mean, when she came out and saved Bianca the other day,
Mhm.
that was some manipulative.
She
crap.
saved her and then taunted her with her
Yes.
own belt.
Mind games. Mind games. I loved it.
Oh, you want this
I
belt
don't-
back?
Yeah, here, take it. Oh no.
You can take it. Nope. And now I'm gonna drool green mist.
Blue.
Now,
Blue mist.
here's the thing. I don't know if I would love Asuka, heel champion. Asuka needs to win, but at the same time, Belair, I know she's very likable, but I feel like we need something different from her. I think turning her heel might be fun. A fun
No, I
thing
think
for her
she's
to
a
do.
female John Cena. I think you leave her face. She's that good at being a face. She's respectable by little girls. No, 100%. I disagree entirely with you. I've
The
seen
thing
her
is-
be a heel. I had to watch
She
it.
just hasn't had any memorable storylines for a hot minute, though, with her being how she is, because it's been the same old
Neither
plain
did John
Jane.
Cena. It was always hustle, loyalty, and respect, and she will always be EST.
Yeah.
EST works, but it's because of her work ethic that she's the EST is what they're going with. So, I think she's a female John Cena. I really do. What'd you send us here, bud?
Oh boy. Oh
Sorry, I
Jesus.
Happened to open up my Twitter and saw that.
Yeah, you just happened, huh?
Hello, Maki Ito.
Yeah,
Calvin Klein.
buddy. Anyways, I
Nice.
agree with DFA, but here's the deal: we've seen heel Bianca Belair. She was heel most of her time in NXT. She was heel when she first came up to the main roster,
And she was okay at heel.
and
I'm
she's
not saying
okay
she's
at
a
it.
bad heel. She's
But
a
then
great face.
here's what it comes down to, right? And I hate to bring color into this in any way, but her being the first like modern black female champion is a big deal.
Not mixed breed like Mercedes.
Right.
Mercedes Renato is half black, half Latino.
And also couldn't hold a championship for more than one time.
Yes, this is
Facts, though.
she's also the strongest champion in recent history. Is Bianca.
And that's the deal. She is a role model champion. And much like it took Hulk Hogan 20 years to
Turn heel.
Bianca Belair's got to do that as well. Because here's the deal: you keep her face for 6 or 7 years.
I don't think she'll get the Cena hate though. Maybe she will.
I don't know, but you keep her face for 6 or 7 years, and then have her turn heel. It's a lot bigger of a deal. The thing is, I think part of what's kept her stale is her being champion.
Yeah, I think she needs to be chasing something.
Because when you're the champion, you're not chasing. Exactly. Heel champions work better because then you've got the face chasing it, right? And that's why we'll talk about it on night 2 because I'm sure it's going to be the main event, Cody versus Roman Reigns. That's part of why Roman's championship run has been so good is because he's been the heel champion
Yep. Very hateable.
with the babyface chasing it. It's also part of why if Cody does win, which I think is likely, but we'll talk about it more, I don't expect his reign to be very long. I expect him to have maybe a 6-month reign, if that. Probably
that's
closer
long.
to like a 3-month reign.
Ooh, okay. I'm saying 6. I don't think it's going to be as short as 3 months.
He's
keeping it till
I think
Survivor
he could
Series.
Easily get it back after said 6-month reign.
Yeah. The thing is, he'll lose it in heel fashion, and then he'll chase it to try to redeem himself, and maybe win it back, and maybe have it twice in this year. Twice for 3 months at a time, sort of a thing. Anyways, the other match that is anticipated for night 1, which is anticipated to be the main event, is Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Boy, they don't have that tag titles as the night 1 main event, huh?
Well, we don't know for certain, but at the moment, no.
Here's to hoping.
That's one of the matches that's in the up in the air thing. And so it could be the main event, but all the reports I've heard have put Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley as the main event.
If that happens before Cody and Roman, then there is, obviously room for a turn to occur as well. So that's okay, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But so that could be the first match night one. Anyway, Charlotte and Rhea. I think Charlotte's part timer now. I think it's Rhea.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that I wonder on is because it's for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and Rhea's part of Judgment Day, which has primarily been a Raw program. This doesn't really mean anything because they've had a lot of switching back and forth. It's not like as set in stone as it used to be. But I would expect if she was the champion that most of, if not all of Judgment Day would transfer over to SmackDown. Which does have implications in a match set for sometime during WrestleMania weekend. Dominic versus Ray.
And they've already named it. They should have named it at the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
I don't think they're going to make Hall of Fame kayfabe. They usually don't, and so I don't think
they usually don't. But I thought it would be a good idea to do it this time.
It would be cool. This time.
I thought they would have did it if Vicky Guerrero was actually available and they add her into the storyline. I was so hoping for that, but then we found out that her contract only ends, I believe, in June with AEW. So I was just like, oh, I really want to see that because it looked like they were really building towards Vicky coming at some point before Mania and basically stating what Dominic stated. I wish Eddie was my father and Vicky come out. But yeah.
Not that they can't continue that storyline. I mean,
until June?
Stuff's hilarious. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheat to win, bud.
Mm-hmm.
He's a prison inmate. He doesn't follow rules. Come on.
Yeah, her contract's up in July.
July, okay.
Which means not even SummerSlam. The Halloween Havoc area. Not that there is a Halloween Havoc anymore.
Well, there is for NXT technically.
Yes.
If NXT still is doing it.
Yes, they are. Anyway, so my prediction's Rhea. Anybody else?
Yeah, no, Rio.
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth on it.
I'm with Fabe on this. No, you were the one that said it in terms of Charlotte being part-time. She seems like she's on a part-time schedule now, kind of thing. They just didn't know what to do with Rousey, so they gave it to Charlotte. And Charlotte Rhea sells more tickets. And yeah, I think the fans want to see Rhea as champion. The fans are super behind Rhea with what she did with the Judgment Day. She worked wonders with that group. She became the leader of that group without being the initial leader of that group. So, yeah, Rhea all the way.
I mean, I will point out that Charlotte's done 7 house shows in the last 3 weeks.
It's leading up to Mania. I still think she's headed towards part-time. Not like real part-time, just...
Yeah. I mean, she's done 20 matches this year.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think that, I mean, and most of them have been house show matches. I think it's the opposite. I think she's coming back to full-time. She just missed enough time that they're doing the house show circuit with her to sharpen her skills back up. Because keep in mind, before she showed back up in December, end of December, right? She had been off since August? No, since even before that. May, since May. So she
Since
missed
May,
a good,
wow.
a good 7 months before she came back. And so I think they're doing the house show circuit to work her back out of the ring rust and back into the Charlotte Flair. I think she'll be back to a full-time thing here soon. Here's what happens, though. If she loses to Rhea, I fully expect we see her on Raw the next night, and that she's moving to Raw. And that she will
Charlotte is moving to Raw?
Charlotte would be, yes. Because if Rhea's going to be moving to SmackDown as the new champion, then I anticipate Charlotte coming to Raw to try to freshen up the women's division on Raw a bit. Freshen up. So I don't know. I just go back and forth on it because I just don't see them moving Judgment Day to SmackDown right now. Not with the programs that they've been doing. So, anyways, that's the last of the rumored night one official. Here are the ones that haven't been rumored for a specific night. Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre for the IC belt.
Gunther retains. Gunther will break Honky Tonk's record.
See, I think their plans for Gunther are higher than the IC belt.
So do I, but I think
I also think remembering that WrestleMania is all about WrestleMania moments. And what better WrestleMania moment could they have out of this match than Sheamus finally finishing his Grand Slam championship?
Oh, he hasn't held the IC?
He has not held the IC belt yet. It's the only belt that he has not held.
And then Sheamus and Drew will go on a feud, probably.
Sheamus and Drew
will probably go on to face each other for the title for a long while, leaving Gunther.
First competitor for Cody. It's a fantastic first heel for Cody.
Mm-hmm. So that's
a great way to test the waters for.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I lean, is that Sheamus is going to get the victory here. Gunther's had it for. Oh, give me 1 second here as I try to find. How long he's had it now. Where is it here? Intercontinental. Current reign. Scroll. He's had it for 290 days. For him to break Honky Tonk, scroll all the way back. Uh, 454. So he's
150 additional days. That's the end of the year.
Yeah, he'd have to hold it through the rest of the year. And I struggle to think they're going to have him do that. Just because I like
whose reign?
Honky Tonks.
Oh.
I think it is prime. Miz would have been the guy to do it, but Miz is no longer in that position.
Right now he's sitting third, 414 days for Randy Savage. Is the next one. So he's got a long ways to go. I just think I think in terms of the IC belt, they're not worried about that record. That's not a record that they hold up to a lot of prestige. And they've got big plans. I've heard a lot of things about them having big plans for Gunther. And to me, big plans means main event plans. So that's why I think Sheamus wins it. Gunther goes off to the main event, potentially challenging Cody if he wins.
Well, they built the storyline at Rumble. I mean, at the end of the day, Gunther says, I would have won that Rumble if I hadn't come in so early and I had been off for 9 months rehabbing an injury and, all that stuff.
Or
you beat me was this.
Another option we mentioned earlier, though, Brock Lesnar, right? After Royal Rumble, fans were clamoring for Gunther versus Brock Lesnar.
True.
That could be a big feud for a short period of time. Next up, Hell in a Cell match. Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor.
With Gangrel potentially coming in as part of a Brood entrance with Edge. That's what's rumored.
Reports
this should be a fun match.
Yeah. It's really tough because based on the storyline, I feel like this is like I thought the storyline was finished after they beat Edge.
Right. Yeah.
And then they continued it, right? So now the storyline is Edge getting his win back. But do you have
the demon outfit?
Yeah. Do you have Edge get his win back in Hell in a Cell versus the Demon? That's not the way I'd do it, I'm just going to say. So, I guess I'm tentatively going Finn Balor for this.
So mine.
But it doesn't taste good in my mouth saying it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Edge has the upper hand. Edge needs the win. Edge has to get that one up on... Like, we've seen the Demon lose before, though. It's not going to be the first time that the Demon has lost on the main roster. So, it's not a big deal as if this was the first time the Demon was going to lose on the main roster. That's already happened. So I see Edge just getting his comeback here. Gets his payback on it, and this just hopefully is the last time we see the Judgment Day versus Edge.
I can't fault you on it because, like I said, that's the storyline is Edge getting his win back. But do you do it against the Demon Finn Balor in Hell in a Cell? Like, just like we said with Bray Wyatt, the Fiend in Hell in a Cell. Like, this should be the match that the Demon can win. Like, no, I mean, he was undefeated until one time. He's only lost one match. And that was because the ropes unexpectedly broke. A storyline that they've never actually finished.
Oh, it's true, huh? That was so stupid.
But I don't know.
The
That's
Demon has no experience in the Hell in a Cell, though, right? So he doesn't, although, yes, he's a monster, he's a demon, whatever, he still doesn't know what he's getting into in the Hell in a Cell. And Edge, in his own right, is going to be some sort of demonic character as well, with being the Brood Edge, right? So, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the storyline. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match. I just think Edge is going to take it and it hopefully be the end of this shit show.
Like I said, I can't blame you for that side. I don't think that's the way you do the Demon. I think if the Demon loses in Hell in a Cell, you might as well stick a fork in the Demon character. It's done. Right? if the Demon can't win in Hell in a Cell, then the Demon no longer has any validity in WWE. It's now just a marketing gimmick about selling more fucking action figures and T-shirts.
But it's always kind of been that the Demon has no experience within the Hell in a Cell. There's no direct
the Demon
correlation.
didn't need experience in Hell in a Cell. The Demon was unbeatable in every match until recently, right? Every match the Demon entered, he won. And now he comes into Hell in a Cell, a match that should be set up for a demon, literally storyline possessed by a demon.
Right.
Uh,
What was the rope fiasco? Who was he facing in that match?
Roman.
Okay, right. Yeah.
And like it was expected, like I expected it to come out later that one of the Usos loosened the ropes or whatever to give Roman the victory, the chance of victory or whatever. But they literally never explained it at all.
That's amazing.
Like,
I always just assumed it was one of the Usos and felt like they must have explained it at some point. That's
I think
weird.
it was Roman, right? Give me a second. Because now I've got now I'm second guessing myself. I'm second guessing. So
Who were you thinking, Fabe?
Demon. Already said that.
I mean, Edge could take the loss. I mean, he doesn't need to win. Just then, what do you do with Edge? Does Edge finally just like retire, or he certainly has to move on from the Judgment Day because this can't keep going?
yes, it was Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules 2021.
Right.
And he went up for the coup de grace, and the top ropes collapsed, and that allowed Roman to hit the spear and win. But I guess that's what it just comes down to for me is if you don't have the Demon win at Hell in a Cell, the Demon character is dead. Right? It's no longer a valid character, no longer a reason to get excited about him bringing. Right? It doesn't make as much sense for the storyline, but that's why the storyline sucks.
Are either of you talking?
Yes.
We can hear you.
I can't hear.
We can hear you.
Froze.
We
There's
can hear
Mark's,
you.
there he is.
There he
Yeah,
is.
we can
Okay.
hear you the whole time.
Check if there's any cats on your dish.
Yeah, you should go make sure that none of the cats are napping on your dish.
I have no cats on my dish. It's flattened at an angle. They could not sit on it.
Maybe it's a bird.
Cats are crazy.
Yeah.
It's 12:30, meaning I'm switching satellites.
Or a cat snapping on it.
Yeah, but every single time we do this, at this,
It's
time
usually
of
around
night,
the same time.
Which is a good time for cats to be napping.
Well, I mean, yes, they shouldn't be cautious about the coyotes in the area that are probably howling 300 yards away.
Anyways, moving on. The WrestleMania Women's Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. That's a mouthful.
Before you even name the names, it's Team
Shane and Rousey.
Yeah, that's
Team
who it
Tap
should
Out.
be.
And then we finally get them be champions for a hot minute and then face each other at SummerSlam. Let's fucking go!
No, it's farther out than that. That breakup is next year.
You son of a bitch. You're not going
That
to make me
breakup is
wait
next
next
year.
year. God.
That breakup is next year after Rumble when one of them turns on the other one at Rumble. And one of them wins a title at the Elimination Chamber, and the other one challenges for it after Elimination Chamber.
So
Wait a minute. This isn't even for a championship, is it?
nope, this is just a fatal 4-way match.
Right.
So I have a weird question, right?
Hmm.
And it's something that maybe I just missed the storyline, or maybe my ADHD made me forget it. What the fuck happened to Carmella? They were telling a storyline of Chelsea Green and Carmella. And then all of a sudden this week, Chelsea Green teamed up with Sonya Deville to win their entry into this match.
But the week before was Piper, no? Or that was the week prior to that? Because she also teamed up with Piper. Because I do remember them mentioning that Piper couldn't stand her anymore. So that's why Chelsea wasn't there. I don't know. Maybe my ADHD kicked in too or something. Because
they were very clearly telling the storyline with Chelsea Green and Carmella that they were working to try to be a tag team together. They were both going to Adam Pearce together. They were complimenting each other's wardrobes and all of this stuff. And then, like, all of a sudden, she's teaming with Sonya Deville for, I don't know. It just very much confused me. Anyways, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. I think we all agree it's got to be Ronda and Shayna. Although I would not put it past them just for Crash TV Bro putting it on Liv and Raquel Rodriguez for the win because everyone loves Liv. Raquel Rodriguez has a huge future. Reports have it that they're expected to push her heavily as a single star soon.
Oh, okay.
So Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville are in there to just get their butts whooped. And look fabulous while doing it. But okay, now the men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders.
Braun and Ricochet.
I think they have been pushing Braun and Ricochet.
I think they're telling the odd couple story.
I mean, it makes as much sense as anything. Street Profits aren't going to win because they're obviously teasing the breakup of Street Profits a lot recently. So
Right.
Alpha Academy is not going to win because Otis is going to be distracted by Maximum Male Models and Maxine Dupree.
Mm-hmm.
I love that LA Knight just completely lost Max Dupree.
Yeah, he just left and became LA Knight and no storyline, no anything about it. Just came out in his thing. Yeah. And now, importantly, currently does not have a match on WrestleMania.
He's in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale though at SmackDown,
which is not on WrestleMania.
Definitely not on WrestleMania. No, I don't know why they just didn't have that on the pre-show or something.
I don't know why they didn't have that instead of this stupid men's showcase fatal 4-way tag team match.
Because Ricochet deserves better, and so does Gable, and they deserve to be at Mania in a non-crazy Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Nope.
Andre the Giant crazy. You think the Andre the Giant crazy Battle Royale is going to be crazier than a weird-ass fatal 4-way with no stakes tag team match?
Ooh,
I think this match will.
Though. Like Levi's, Otis will fight then.
Yeah, I think this fatal 4-way match could have been on SmackDown, and the Andre the Giant Battle Royal stay on WrestleMania where it fucking belongs.
Fucking belongs.
Yes. Moving on, the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
This has got to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
It's Sami Zania, baby. It's got to be the KO Zayn win.
WrestleZania.
WrestleZania.
I more or less agree, just from the standpoint of
the story that's going to be told here is the fall of the bloodline.
Part of that, but more, frankly, he's not in the world title picture. And he isn't this. And if he doesn't at least win fucking something,
right.
I think there'll be a riot. And we've seen riots in LA before.
And they don't go well.
They don't go well. That's not a good place to have them.
Riots are better in LA.
Yeah, you've never had a riot until you've had a riot in LA.
That's legit. Baltimore put up a pretty good battle at one point, though.
So, Philly does some good riots.
Yeah. Super Bowl ones.
Mm-hmm. Win or lose.
Yes.
But that's
it's still not LA.
But it's not LA. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio.
It's got to be Dom, doesn't it?
I feel like it's got to be Dom. Ray also did mention that he recently, in some interview, that he would retire with the WWE, which I figured he would. Maybe this might be Ray passing the torch to Dom, perhaps.
Why not? He shoved him down our throat for 2.5 years doing nothing. Now that he's got a decent story, at least let's put it.
He's like, I tried to push the slowest 619 ever down your throat. Maybe now that he finally wrestles like a big guy, I can relax.
I can finally bounce. Yeah, I think it you have to have Dom win it. You have to make it makes the Judgment Day look even bigger. It makes Ray take some time off or potentially retire. This is his WrestleMania Hall of Fame year. Perfect time for Ray to retire.
Hall of Famia.
Hall of Famia.
And then the final match for the show, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Cody. I don't care.
Adrenaline in my soul.
Interference, fake. Sammy and KO come out and help. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the Cody Rhodes custom title belt that someone made? I don't think Cody made it, but someone made it.
Was that legit though? Okay, but it wasn't like WWE made kind of thing.
No.
Okay. That belt was legit though, right?
Someone made it.
No. But I mean his actual strap belt, where he had where he's been.
Yes, I believe
inscriptions.
So.
Okay,
but no, I'm talking specifically about the
title belt.
The title belt. I don't know who made it. Why won't you let me open image, a new tab? I don't know who made it. For what? Don't know. But this thing. This thing. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, if there was a belt you were going to buy, that would be it, no?
Look at that thing. The details are wonderful. Here's the thing is, it's obviously an homage to the Winged Eagle.
IC title. And the IC title.
Slightly to the IC with the white strap.
Which he was the one who introduced.
Which he was the one who reintroduced, yes.
Reintroduced, sorry.
But, you've got the gold bars on the side that are Winged Eagle bars. The big wing. But then the American Nightmare logo in the middle. American Nightmare Cody Rhodes says American Nightmare, do the work at the top. The only thing is, This is where it's 100% to me certain that this is not an official. There's not a single WWE logo on this thing.
Right, there isn't.
And WWE does not put out belts without the logo. Usually very, very prominently displayed.
Yeah, for sure.
At the very least, this part up here where it says American Nightmare Do the Work would be a giant WWE logo. Just the big W up here. But this is still such a gorgeous belt that I wish I could believe it was true. But
Whoa.
That is a sexy title.
it, alas, is very likely not.
Sexy title.
Reports have it, though, that Triple H has signed off on a new title design. So we'll see what ends up being unveiled when it gets unveiled. I've said before, I would prefer if they brought back the Winged Eagle, especially for Cody. Have Cody come out with the Winged Eagle, say, this is the belt my dad always wanted. Can start crying like he does on his dad promos. This is the belt I'm going to defend. I think it would be Chef's Kiss. Good storyline. Anyways. Well, that is all of WrestleMania predicted, sort of, for us, as well as all of the other major things happening WrestleMania weekend. There's so much else. Like, there's no way we could predict half of the shit going on. Like, let's predict GCW versus DDT. I don't know any of these people. I don't know any of those people.
It's because we only like that crappy wrestling.
Yeah, we only like the bad wrestling, none of the good stuff. Listen, I'm just saying that Joey Janela versus Yuki Ueno, right, did not have enough build, and they're definitely not going to give it enough time at this.
Who's El Vikingo facing?
I
think that's a GCW.
GCW.
I think it's at GCW.
Oh, I can't remember which of the GCW's ones it was.
I'll just Google
them. Mike Bailey at Joey Janela's Spring Break.
Mike Bailey. Oh, it's gonna be badass.
Speedball Mike Bailey. But I don't know what else he's going to be doing. Anyways.
I think that was it, though. I think you just mentioned one match when you were dropping them all.
Well, but I didn't look at every one of GCW's things.
That's fair.
Because there's like 30 of them. Like Jimmy Lloyd's Degeneration F. Nope, I don't see him there. I don't recognize almost any of the people on this. So, let's see.
El Hijo Vikingo versus Laredo Kid announced for GCW Lucha Libre Show WrestleMania weekend.
Okay, so that would be down here.
Laredo Kid.
The World on Lucha.
Just making sure.
Yep, there he is right there versus Laredo Kid. Sexy Star versus Dolce Tormenta. Importantly, that's Sexy Star 2, not the one who tried to kill Rosemary in the ring. Anyways, D.A. Fabe was looking like he had some cards he wanted to open.
I mean, it is WrestleMania week, so let's open at least a couple. Huh?
Let's do it.
We got a Chronicles Umaga.
Oh, nice.
His son is probably moving to the main roster soon.
Training with five-time Booker T.
Jimmy Uso. We got ourselves a, who the fuck is this? Idris Inofi. Idris Inofi.
Oh, there we go.
That is
I'm sure he might be a decent wrestler.
Luminance card, number 151. He's all right. He's just not well known. Another.
I think there's cats on your dish. You're frozen.
Sorry. Can you see this card?
Can't see it, but we can hear it.
We can hear
Oh,
it.
cool. A 2022 certified Bodie Hayward. Sorry, guys.
Oh. No.
Damn pussies.
It's the power of the purr, baby. The power of the purr.
Legend card. Can you guys guess what it is? No? It's the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, Jesus.
Not a great pack here, guys. Sorry. You're not missing much. But there is an Origins Axiom, and Axiom is definitely an up-and-comer in NXT. So
That is saying something.
that's a thing, something.
Hey, you're back. Yay.
Really cool. Do you want to see these, like the Warrior
Do it, do it. Ooh.
or Axiom?
Okay, that's nice.
Bodie Hayward. Who the fuck is this? Perfect.
You froze again.
No, that's fine because I'm not doing it anymore. Okay.
Well, we didn't want to see Bodie Hayward anyway.
That's it.
I'll have to do those earlier in the night next week. Sorry, or during maybe a simulcast.
Maybe, because that's the deal. I don't have anything fully planned, but with all the wrestling going on, I fully anticipate I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking live stream the WrestleMania night 2 reactions. Might do both nights. Who knows? He opened cards to show. I instead just have to show my latest signed picture
Lindsay Dorado.
of Lindsay Dorado.
Yeah.
Nice.
He looks like a happy camper.
No longer in WWE.
Nope, that's why I was able to get the signed picture. I've said this before. It's great bang for your buck. The pro wrestling crate starts at what, $35. Gets 2 T-shirts, a signed picture, and a bunch of other stuff every week. I got my micro brawler of Akeem. This one.
Nice.
This shirt that I'm wearing, Still Better Than You, MJF
Nice.
shirt. And the other one's a really sweet Rowdy Piper one. So, and I got a House of Black banner to hang up. And a Sting pin.
Hey, there you go.
Dang.
It's Sting. So, happy camper. So, I'm telling you guys, great way. I don't know if I put it in the doobly doos anymore.
But Smarks is willing to save you money on your first one.
But yeah, hit me up if you're thinking of signing up. I got a referral code for you. And
Oh, nice.
Which
can
also
save-
means that Smarks gets some more stuff. But
yeah, you can save some money.
That's not the
And
point. He wants to get you some money off.
yes,
It's
that's
like
the
a
real point.
sponsorship without the sponsor.
Exactly.
Ship.
Exactly. But I guess, yeah, I mean, we could keep BSing, or we could go off on tangents or whatever, or we could get some sleep to be prepared for
Whole week.
Hell Week. Yes. Because we
I
got
mean, that
Dynamite
is
tomorrow,
possible.
and then it all goes downhill from there.
Why? What do we have on Thursday?
Impact, if you want to watch that, but
Or go
Oh, okay.
back and
Like their
rewatch
pay-per-view?
NXT.
They are.
We know you didn't watch NXT tonight. NXT.
That's fair.
be prepared for stand and deliver.
That would make sense.
And like I said, just be prepared because, maybe you don't watch anything on Thursday. You use that to take a fucking breath. Because
the weekend is coming.
The weekend is going to be long. And my wife is going to hate me.
I have prepared numerous people for this weekend.
Yeah.
This is our 4th year doing a WrestleMania during podcast, or our 4th WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? Podcast ready?
I believe so.
We finally learned that you have to tell people, I have to watch 60 hours of wrestling this week.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not lying when I say this. I have to watch an absurd amount of wrestling this week. An absurd amount.
Yes.
Because each night of WrestleMania is guaranteed to be at least 3 to 4 hours.
It'll probably be closer to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, let's just say right now there's a total of 13 matches set up for WrestleMania weekend, right? If they give each of those matches, including entrances, 20 minutes, right? That's literally 3 hours each night in terms of just that. That's not including any breaks, any promos, any backstage segments, any surprises. It's not including all the time Miz is going to come out and say Miz TV, the hottest, blah, blah, blah on television. Here, I'm going to shoot a t-shirt cannon out to you. And again, 20 minutes, including entrances, is actually not something you can guarantee for WrestleMania weekend. I mean, we don't have Triple H wrestling, so we're probably not going to have the 20-minute long entrances.
We also don't have Undertaker wrestling.
Yeah,
so
Triple H or Undertaker usually had those. But
or Bray or Karrion.
Yeah, I would believe Roman Reigns' entrance is going to be a solid 5 minutes alone. Maybe 6 or 7, right?
Yeah, I even say Cody's.
Cody's probably fairly long.
Have you seen the footage of the WrestleMania stage of them?
I've seen some pictures of the setup for. I got to be honest. I will be surprised if there are not giant golden statues on the plinths on either side. Oscar statues, specifically designed to not look exactly like Oscars because they don't want to get sued. The Demon Finn Balor's entrance is probably going to be long and extravagant.
Edges will definitely be.
Especially if they're doing the Brood.
Yeah.
Charlotte's is probably going to be nice and long because it's Charlotte.
Well, I mean, a lot of them are generally just going to be long too because it is WrestleMania, right? So they're going to do an over extravagant thing. Or probably Bianca's is probably going to be a little long. Last year she had the band playing in Dallas. Even Becky's was a tad long too. Asuka maybe as well.
They're going to be a little bit longer, if only because the fucking entrance ramp is going to be like 3 miles long.
Yep.
And there's that too. Yeah.
But
the ramp starts in Encino.
Yep. But I'm more thinking about the big extravagant extra things, and I think Roman, Charlotte, Cody, Edge, and Finn Balor are going to be the main ones that get the real extravagant ones. Possibly Ray, since he's a Hall of Famer now. As of this, he could have a big one.
And it's near his hometown.
Seth, possibly. Logan, possibly. I would anticipate Logan just comes out with some extravagantly paid for Pokemon card around his neck again. Maybe he'll do 2 this time. I could see Trish and Lita both getting extra entrances since they're both Hall of Famers. But anyways. But yeah, so we got an absurd amount of wrestling to watch this weekend. So I think we are going to go ahead and start to wrap things up here so that we can get a good night's sleep and be prepared. Dynamite tomorrow should be really good. Adam Cole's first match back since his injury.
Against Garcia, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Let me see if they have any other matches set for Dynamite. Because I thought they had a couple others set.
I think they mentioned some on Rampage, but
Ricky Starks versus Juice Robinson. Nope, that's put off till next week. Till next week. No, that's not this week. Let's go straight to the source. AllEliteWrestling.com. Nope, they don't have anything good here. Put anything up on their Twitter. Dalton Castle and the Boys versus Blackpool Combat Club.
That could be fun.
okay.
Kenny Omega versus Jeff Cobb.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Orange Cassidy versus The Butcher has been announced for the International Championship. Matt Hardy versus Jungle Boy. And Ruby Soho versus Willow Nightingale have been announced. So that should be a fun Dynamite. But I gotta be honest, I kind of feel like they know that no matter what they put on for this, it's WrestleMania week and they're not going to be the most talked about show. You know what I mean?
No, they don't want.
Well, but you're kind of the start of the week either, though. So you could have still had a few bangers in there. Could have had a Moxley match, another Kenny Omega match. You know what I mean?
They have a Kenny Omega match. They have
Kenny's facing who?
Jeff Cobb for the IWGP US title. Adam Cole versus Garcia, we said. They've got some big matches, but I just think
Adam
they
Cole
know.
Garcia could be match of the week, maybe too, though.
Yeah,
you know,
as much as I think it's going to be a great match,
it's a lot of wrestling. But yeah,
there's a lot of other wrestling to go on this week, and that's what I kind of say is, I feel like no matter what, they know that this is the one week that no matter how good they are, they probably won't be the most talked about show on TV because of all the other shows that are going on. But they're kind of fine with it for this week because they know. This week is the filler week before they try to come back next week and absolutely kill it. So I would imagine they set up some things. I would imagine we see the Young Bucks reveal who attacked them last week. We probably see Hangman Page have a face-off with Omega after the Don Callis thing. Yeah. It wasn't really a betrayal, but it was shenanigans. That's a good word for it.
It's kind of a betrayal. Come on, bro. How do you fake like, oh, he hit me. Did you see that? He hit me. Like, you can tell Don Callis tripped himself.
Yeah, but it's not a betrayal because Adam Page didn't trust him. Adam Page kind of reached back and said, "Why are you grabbing my hand? Let go of me."
Right,
So
but then Don Callis... No, but Don Callis fell like he hit him.
Yes, it did fall, but that's still not a betrayal is my point. Because betrayal means there's trust first. Trust betrayed, right? It's shenanigans. It's just not a betrayal.
It's leading to a betrayal.
It's trying to convince Kenny Omega to not trust Hangman Page. But it's not in and of itself a betrayal of Hangman Page, because again, Hangman Page barely even knew that Don Callis was there. You know,
Right.
That's my point. It's shenanigans. So the best way to describe it is shenanigans. Anyways, if anyone says shenanigans one more time,
I'm gonna pistol whip the next person who says shenanigans.
hey, what's the name of that restaurant downtown with all the shit on the walls?
Oh, you mean shenanigans? Farva.
Anyways. But so yeah, good matches on Dynamite. But like I say, I think there's a reason they're not pulling out all the stops. Frankly, I think that's the reason they put Vikingo last week. Is because he was up here. They could get him for 1 week, but they knew if they put him this week, there was a chance that it'd still be a great match because it's Vikingo, and Kenny Omega. But there's a chance that it might not even be considered Vikingo's best match of this week. You know what I mean?
Yep.
No, that's it.
But last week,
Jeff Cobb and Omega still might be a fire.
It's still going to be a great
too,
match.
though,
I love Jeff Cobb. I wish Jeff Cobb would come to AEW full time, but he won't. But I wish he would. But he won't.
He'll be at Forbidden Door probably.
Yes, most likely. But anyways, on that note, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. If you are following us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Raw and Order WBU, click that subscribe button. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, use your Amazon Prime to get a free subscription to this. Helps us out a ton. Also helps us out if you visit our merch stores, purchase something great like a autographed T-shirt to get autographs of your best favorite wrestlers at your next signing, things like that. But it also helps us if you just send us some bits or some tips using the bits on Twitch or the tips link on our Twitch page, or just share it with your friends. That helps us out a ton there. You can also follow us on the social media. You can follow me at Raw and Order WBU, like it says right down there underneath my name. You can follow DA Fabe at
DA Vincent K. Fabe on Twitter only.
Mm-hmm.
Right
and
there.
JLB is
twitch.tv/JLBTLC25. And I streamed WB2K23, still going through that showcase. Should be done with that. And then I want to check out My Rise. So if you're into wrestling games, check that out. And then my Twitter handle, not verified blue, because I am paying Elon $8 for a stinking blue.
but now you're not going to show
mark.
up on the For You tab anymore.
Oh, well, then I guess you'll just have to @JLB420 and put me as your favorites if you want to see what's going on with me there. And that's pretty much it.
Or don't.
WrestleMania weekend, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. But on that note, thank you all for joining us. We will see you soon.